Hey, what's going on everyone, this is Unused back with another video, and today I will show you guys 15 mistakes that you're probably doing daily on your iPhone, and of course you should stop making them. These are like mistakes that will cost you battery life, performance, and overall a worse user experience on your iPhone. So here are 15 mistakes that you should stop doing on your iPhone. The first mistake you're probably doing on your iPhone is not setting up an alternate appearance on the Face ID settings. Now this is a very cool feature to have on iOS, which allows you to set like a second look on your Face ID, just in case your Face ID doesn't recognize your face. You will have that like a backup, and that might help a lot. Or if you have like another trusted person that can use your phone, you can set up an alternate appearance for that person. Or if you just like change your look a lot, like you grow a beard and then you just shave it off, and your Face ID might not recognize you, so you don't want to do that. Of course, you want to have a backup here with an alternate appearance on Face ID. And we have some other things here that you might be doing wrong, and we have here access when locked. So all these switches right here indicate that these things can be controlled, can be accessed even though the device is locked. So from the today's view, the notification center, control center, Siri, reply to messages, that's really important. All these can be done even though the device is locked. So what I suggest you do is go ahead and turn these off right here, because like return missed calls, return messages, someone can do that even if your device is locked. So make sure you don't leave these on. Now, a lot of us make a lot of mistakes when it comes to battery life on the iPhone and charging the iPhone. Always charging your iPhone to 100% is not a good idea. As you probably know, with iOS 13, Apple has added a new feature which is called optimized battery charging. Now what this does is that it will only charge your iPhone up to 80%, and then just a few like minutes after you need it, for example in the morning, it will charge it at 100%. So a mistake a lot of people make is always charging their iPhone to 100%. That will of course be bad for the battery life on the long run. So the battery lifespan will be shortened if you always charge at 100%. So if you don't have iOS 13 or you don't use the new optimized battery charging feature, make sure you don't charge your iPhone to 100%. Like the sweet spot is like at around 80. That's how much you should charge your iPhone. Also, another big mistake when charging your iPhone is if you have like, let's say you get a new phone and you want to keep the old one, but you don't use it very frequently and you just leave it somewhere without ever charging it. That's a huge mistake. You will damage the battery of the iPhone and it might never turn up again. So what you need to do is, even though you have an iPhone that you don't use but you plan to use it maybe in the future, you go ahead and charge it every few days. Make sure that the iPhone is charged. Don't leave it there uncharged, the battery dead for a long time. And of course, when charging your iPhone, it's always a bad idea to use a fake cheap charger. Like the chargers that you get at your local gas station, they should not enter on your iPhone ever. Don't ever charge your iPhone with a fake charger. Now, you don't have to always charge it with the original one that comes in the box of your iPhone. You can get like certified other cables, but don't use uncertified cables like fake cables on your iPhone. Now with iOS 13 and iOS 12, of course, Apple has added this like new feature maybe that they won't turn completely off the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth. That's really bad. So if you keep like the Bluetooth on for a long time or always, it will constantly be searching for devices nearby, and that of course will decrease performance and battery life as well. Also, if you just disable it here from the control center, it won't be completely turned off. So always make sure when you don't use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or even like location services, make sure you turn them off. Now you can go ahead and turn off Bluetooth or Wi-Fi completely off directly from the settings. You will need to go to the settings app, not on the control center, or you can even use Siri. So just launch Siri, turn off Bluetooth, and just like that, Siri will turn off Bluetooth, and as you can see right here, it's completely off, not just disabled. Another mistake that you might be doing on your iPhone is not deleting apps that you don't use. Of course, we have a ton of apps on our devices. Sometimes maybe we just see an ad of an app or something, want to try it out, or a game or something like that, and then never use it again. Don't leave it on your iPhone. It will of course just take up space, maybe even send you notifications and just decrease the battery life. Won't do anything good. Just go ahead and delete all the apps that you don't use on your iPhone. You can also use a feature called offload unused apps, which of course can be enabled if you go to settings. So just go to settings, go to iTunes and App Store, and right down below here you will find offload unused apps. What that does is that apps that you don't use for a long time, it will just remove them from the device. You will still have the data of the app, so whenever you need it back, you just install it and you will have all your stuff there. Now, something really interesting that this has been also confirmed by Apple is that closing apps from the background is not a good idea. I know some people have this as a habit. I do myself. I'll always close all the apps from the background, even though I know that's not a good thing to do, but it's just a habit that someone will do. But always keep your apps open in the background. Now, iOS is smart enough to manage these, so if you have apps there that it's not open for a long time, that will be like just paused right there and will be in the background. They won't interfere anything with your use of the iPhone. But what you're doing if you're closing these apps is that you're making iOS have to reload the apps from the beginning every time you open them. But if you leave them like this, they will be in the background and ready to go. So the iPhone doesn't have to reload the apps every time you want to use them. Another mistake you might be doing is not tracking how much battery the apps on your iPhone are using. So go to settings, go to the battery section, and right here we'll find a list of all the apps that you have on your iPhone, and it will show you how much battery that app has used. Now of course, the apps that you use a lot will be on the top right there. They will consume more battery, but you might see some apps that are poorly coded that might be right here on the list. That means that those apps are not coded properly and they consume a ton of battery, more than they should. So what you need to do is just track them here, and if you see any app that is like using enormous amount of battery, go ahead and delete them. You will probably find an alternative on the App Store for that app anyway. The next thing you might be doing wrong on your iPhone is not paying attention to app permissions. So you install an app, of course, most of the apps will ask you permission for the camera or the Bluetooth or location services and all that stuff. So what you need to do is go to settings, go to privacy, and right here we'll have all the things like the Bluetooth, the microphone, photos, the camera. So right here you will see all the apps that have permission to that different section. So if I go to the camera right here, I can see a list of the apps that have permission to use the camera on my iPhone. And if I just by accident have enabled like camera or microphone for an app that I didn't want to, then I can go ahead and disable it directly from here. Now, of course, another huge mistake is never backing up your iPhone. It is really important that you do that regularly. You can do that, of course, using iTunes, or you can do that using iCloud, but always make sure that your iPhone is backed up. So, of course, nowadays we have all of our stuff on our iPhones, like videos, photos, all the data like notes or contacts, everything that we need. So not backing up them is not a good idea. You never know when you might maybe lose your iPhone or just something bad will happen with your iPhone. You make sure you always have a backup of your data. And of course, a very bad idea is not updating your iPhone. That's why Apple releases updates to fix bugs and of course other stuff that needs to be fixed. So there's always like, if they release a new software update and you don't see any new features, it doesn't mean that you don't have to install it. There are always bug fixes and improvements in the background, and sometimes there are a lot of security bugs, security issues that are very important. So make sure you always have your iPhone on the latest iOS software. Basically, the same thing goes for the apps as well. You always want to have your apps updated. I see a ton of people have like a ton of updates on the App Store and they just never bother to update their apps. Make sure you always update your apps at the latest versions. There's a reason why those updates are out and there's always fixes and improvements on the apps, so make sure all your apps are up to date. Another mistake a lot of people do is never clearing the data of Safari. So your browsing history will be there, you will have of course everything, but it will also take up space on your device and might even slow down Safari. So the browsing data, the website data, all that takes a lot of space on your device. So what you want to do is go to the settings, go to Safari, and right here you will find the clear history, and what you can do is go ahead and just clear the history from there. So let me just find that. Here it is. So clear history and website data. Just go ahead from here, clear the data like frequently. You can do that every once, maybe in a week or two, but always make sure that you clear the data, the Safari browsing history and the website data. And last but not least are tabs on Safari. Now with iOS 13, Apple has added this amazing feature which allows you to easily close the tabs automatically. So you just go to settings, go to Safari, go to close tabs, and here you can choose after 1 day, 1 week, or a month, and they will be closed automatically. That's because a ton of people keep like a ton of different like tabs opened in the background. They just browse the website, don't need it anymore, just open a new tab, not close that one. So your Safari will be crammed with a ton of tabs opened in the background. That will of course make Safari run slower. So what you need to do is always make sure you close your tabs, and you can do that simply by choosing here one of the options to automatically close all the tabs. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. These are some of the common mistakes that the average iPhone user does daily, so make sure you don't do this on your iPhone. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.